How's it going? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is you call home. It's morning, I believe, in Australia or during the overnight hours. Afternoon, evening over in the UK and over in Europe. Let me see if I can flip this around real quick, guys. Hang with me. Doing a little something different here this morning. What's up, the Awaken? I am moderator will be in here soon. Okay, we're just gonna. Hey, Graham, what's up, buddy? Got your email. In fact, I have it right over here on my desktop. What we're going to talk about, though, in this video. Good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. There's something I have on the monitor behind me. Obviously, I'm doing this on my phone. I'm doing it a little bit differently this morning. No particular reason why. I just want to do it on my phone so I can still work on things over here on my laptop. My laptop's over here on the right. What's going on in Tampa? Michael, Drew. So this is going to be, um, I'm going to read this email to you. I put it up here. I know you can't read it. It's a little far away, but I'm going to read it for you. So here we go. Check this out. This is really quite bizarre. I just got this email today. It's from yesterday, and there's just been a lot of stuff going on. I've had a meeting already. That's where I was at yesterday. Newport Richie in the house. Yesterday I was on Zoom calls all morning, all afternoon. There is so much going on that I got to share with you guys here coming up. You're not going to believe it. I think this may parlay into everything that me and my associates are talking about. It's a little complex. We're trying to get it figured out the best way that we can. I have some associates that are very smart people. Um, I'll just leave it at that. So anyway, I was on the phone with them outside, and then I get this email. Actually, got it this morning. He sent it. It's from yesterday, and I'm like, I'll be darned, because a lot of people have been talking about, and maybe you can verify this too. Has your perception, or have you just noticed in general that time seems to be moving faster? I will definitely say 100% my reality, my wife's reality, we feel 100% that time is moving by faster. I mean, every time we turn around, it's Friday. And then I get this email. Let me read it to you guys. And I want to see if anybody else has had this happen. This apparently happened to this gentleman yesterday. His name is Mark. You can probably see that right over there. Mark K. I would flip it around, but I didn't know. Let's see what we can do here. Hold on, I'm just trying. No, I don't want to push the wrong button, so we'll just leave it at that. Maybe. Hold on just a second. No, I'm not taking the mic off because then I'll lose sound. Um, let's see. Oh, so the audio's cutting in and out. Well, I can take the mic off. Glitching. Okay, hold on just a second, guys. There's been a lot of glitching here recently. We've had black vans going by the front of the house. Let me try something different here. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Now the sound should come back on. Hang on just a second. That better? Okay, cool. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I thought maybe the microphone would work better, but apparently it didn't. My bad. Okay, here we go. My associates and me, we've been talking about what could be causing so many people around the world to be experiencing the same phenomena of time moving faster in their reality. Again, as I was saying earlier, me, my wife, and people we know, the days are just the weeks are like days. It's unbelievable. I can remember sitting here at this very desk. Hey, Graham, Stacy Jones, Jeremiah, sitting here at this very desk on July 1st. Seems like just a couple of days ago. Now it's August 2nd. But let me read this email that was sent in by Mark. He goes, brother, I am truly stumped here. Has anyone else, and he wanted me to ask you guys, and I said I would be glad to. So we'll do a live stream this morning and ask. So here we go. Has anyone else noticed the time being off on their clocks? That's what it says back here. I know you can't read it. I'll read it for you. Has anyone else noticed the time being off on all the clocks running off the grid? And he emphasized off the grid. Let me see if I can flip this around. Hold on. Okay. My alarm clock, this is again yesterday, and he lives over along the Redwood Coast. That would be the West Coast. My alarm clock, the clock on the stove, my girlfriend's alarm clock, and her stove clock as well were all off by exactly, check this out, 8 minutes yesterday. He said his phone was okay and the clock in his truck was okay. He said my girlfriend also has a clock that runs on batteries. It was fine as well. At first, he goes, he didn't think too much of it, but he thought it was kind of weird that they were off by exactly 8 minutes. Check this out. He said, I didn't think too much of it until I got to my girlfriend's house, went from his house to her house, and saw the same thing. Check this out. All 4 clocks were exactly 8 minutes off. We live on the Redwood Coast and watch you a lot, and you've seen strange things. He said, but this takes the cake. What could possibly slow the clocks down without triggering the 12 o'clock flash? You know, when you've all experienced this, when the power goes out, your alarm clocks and maybe your clock on your microwave or stove will flash 12. His weren't flashing 12. They went backwards in time by 8 minutes. 8 different clocks, 2 different locations along the Redwood Coast, the west coast of the U.S. Anyone else notice that? And I told him I would ask you guys because you guys always have the answers. D. Lemons, Star Family member. Thank you, D. Lemons. Good afternoon, Astrid. Yes, my husband and I have noticed the days shortening Monday and then it's Thursday. Yeah, exactly right. It no sooner hits Monday and then next thing you know, you're right. It's Thursday. We're going into Friday and now it's already Saturday. It's going to be Monday again. I've never seen anything like it. I've never experienced time moving by this quickly. It's just truly an enigma. It really is. Let me try something here, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. Trying to flip the camera around so that that's not, but it won't let me. But that's okay. That's okay. Anybody else noticing the time moving differently? 4:20 all day. Melissa's wanting a spare. I guess it's all biblical. Matrix glitching. Thank you, Joshua. Stone Mountain. What's up, Shannon? All I know is I told him that I would ask. Yeah, it is bizarre. We've noticed it too. The whole time thing. Can't explain it. Can't explain it. It is truly an enigma. Got a lot of cool stuff I'm working on, and guys, I want to share something with you. I don't know if it's related to anything. Not being paranoid, it is what it is. We have noticed here in the neighborhood recently, on 3 different occasions, a black van. Anybody else noticing black vans by their house? And we've never seen this black van before in the neighborhood until here in the last week to 10 days. The security cameras don't catch it, but we'll see it. We'll catch a glimpse of it as it's going slowly past the house. And by the time you get your phone out, it'll speed up and go around the corner. 3 different times now in 10 days, we've seen this strange black van, all tinted windows. There's nothing on the side. It's kind of roaming around the neighborhood. And I remember there back last month, remember when I had audio issues? I've had some glitching going on that I don't normally have. Yeah, weird stuff. Weird stuff.
So we're kind of watching for it again today. I've got the cameras repositioned so that they're got 2 cameras now positioned on the road. So they're not going to sneak by again. At least I don't think, unless they have some way to turn off the cameras. I don't know. It's very weird. Yeah. Thank you. I kind of feel like that sometimes, but I don't like to be paranoid. I'm not gonna live paranoid. I'm just gonna, roll with it every day, just like you guys. But I'm observant. We notice things. You guys are observant. You notice things. What was that, Graham? Maybe. I don't know. I just try to be an honest guy. That's all. Nothing. All the clocks. The clocks. What's up with the clocks? What is up with the clocks? Yeah, I know time definitely seems like it's moving faster. There is no doubt about it. Absolutely. And there's a lot of people that feel the same way. And I don't know if it's because we're so consumed with this technology age. I don't know. It's just different. Oh, the Berenstein Bears. Right, right. RIP. Yeah, remember back, what was it, 6 or 7 years ago when people were noticing these minute changes in different aspects of our lives, maybe the lyrics of a song changed that were, the same in their reality for their whole life, and then all of a sudden they noticed a simple change in a lyric of a song. The Berenstain Bears. I mean, that's just kind of weird. And one that I know, at least in my reality, that's just super bizarre, um, is the depends. You guys, the depends. Thank you, Buddha Goddess, for the super chat. I mean, super like that. Thank you, guys. Yeah, super chats are always welcome. Remember, depends. Now, I can still see the commercial. In fact, I just saw the commercial the other day, and it said depend, and I'm like, okay, a package of depends are a package of like 30. So to me, that represents plural, not singularity. It's like asking your wife, or your wife asks you to go to the store and buy a box of diaper. Yeah, the baby needs a diaper. What is it? That's one I remember, and I'll argue that one every day. I remember it very clearly being depends. I've never, had to go buy them, but I just remember the commercials. And you don't buy just one depend. You buy a whole plastic bag of them. So that's one I remember. Which one do you guys remember? Do you guys remember any that you know, that's just something that I remember that in my reality did change. So weird. Oh, thank you, Alexander, for the super chat. Let me see. Let me read. Yeah, if you guys have questions, send it in a super chat. Grand Rising purchased an analog watch just to test and make sure. Place new battery to be sure. 6 hours every 2 days. Love you, brother. Thank you, Alexander. Love you. Thanks for the love, and thanks for the super chat. I got another video. I'm telling you, there's something I think personally something to do with, and I know I've mentioned it before, dirty electricity. You guys have heard me mention it. I just got a video. I can't share it right now because I'm working on it right over here on this laptop, of a gentleman driving past a house in his neighborhood. Okay, he sees the front lights in the yard going up the sidewalk and across the front part of the yard of his neighbor's house. They're solar lights, and they're all blinking, and they're not on the grid. So it's like, he was dumbfounded. He's like, I've never seen it do that. Talking about his neighbor's house and the solar lights that are just blinking. They're not on the grid. They're not hardwired to anything. So that tells me that there's something with regard to an EMP. Now, could that have influenced this gentleman's clock? Oh, I've got the email over here. His name's Mark K. 8/1 of 2025. Could an EMP possibly have affected? And you know what? I'm sure it wasn't just him. He just happened to notice it. His girlfriend noticed it, that their clocks were off by 8 minutes exactly. I'm I'm sure it happened to other people along the Redwood Coast. Very localized magnetic anomalies. Very smart, Graham. That's what I'm thinking too. It's rogue and random. Um, it's rogue and random. So it would make them individual pockets, small, some large, of EMPs. You never know when or where they're going to show up. That's just my own personal opinion based off of, what I've been studying for years. That's the only thing it could be. Yeah, that's the only thing it could be. Rogue and random pockets of electromagnetic energy causing dirty electricity, causing things to malfunction. Maybe it caused the clocks to go off by 8 minutes exactly in his location, and quite possibly maybe his neighbors. And he's just not aware of it. They probably saw it too. I doubt if it was just his house, but you know what? It could have been. It could have been just his house, because I've seen this flashing light phenomena affect just one house, one department store, maybe one parking lot. Um, yeah, it is truly weird. And guys, I'm still getting videos to this very day. It's August 1st. I started getting videos November of 2024. Prior to November of 2024, I got zero. I never had one. So that tells me that there's some sort of rogue energy that's swarming the earth. You never know when or where it's going to attach to a current carrier. I consider a current carrier like an electrical cord. That's a current carrier, right? A power line, an outdoor power line, a substation that transfers electricity through subdivisions and stuff like that. What if they get contaminated, even if it's just briefly, with dirty electricity, an EMP of some sort, causing the lights to malfunction? I got a video today from yesterday of a gentleman sitting at an intersection. I mean, people are noticing and people are talking. A car coming at him, and the lights were flashing, the headlights, not the turn signals, not the hazards, the headlights on the car, and you'll see the video, are flashing intermittently. And they're both flashing on a different frequency. That's the thing. It's not like your hazard lights. They're on the same frequency. The relay in your fuse box can intermittently interfere with the flow of electricity. That's how a hazard light works. And that's what the relay is. It causes interference to cause the lights to blink. That's what it does. It's kind of like a contained EMP, a controlled EMP. Well, what if there was an uncontrolled EMP that's circumnavigating through the energy of the earth and attaches to power lines and things like that? It's going to cause things to glitch. It can even attach to solar lights in people's front yards. I just saw it today, attaching to cars. Cars. I got two here recently. A lady from Idaho sitting in a parking lot watched she was waiting on somebody to come out of the store. As she's waiting, she notices this van sitting in front of the store, and the van was turned off, but yet for some reason, the lights in the grill and the headlights were blinking again on different frequencies. Not the same as if they turned on the hazard lights or something like that. They were on different wavelengths, different frequencies. Super, super weird. So anybody else noticing more lightning? RIP focus. I've been getting a lot of, hey, what's up, Carlos? I've been getting a lot of lightning videos here recently. In fact, you guys are in for a treat. This is kind of a semi-reveal of what I've got for you guys later on. You're not going to believe it, but it's true. It's a real video. I've analyzed it. You're going to see a UFO. It's not necessarily a UFO because I've seen one of these myself. In fact, I've seen three. It wasn't even looking. It's a black triangle that gets struck by lightning in a lightning storm. I noticed someone mentioned lightning there, and that's what made me think of it. That video is over here. It's on the runway. It is ready for takeoff. And in my next video, you will see, okay, it's one of two things. It's either this black triangle that's in the sky, it's tucked away in this thunderstorm, and it's, you know, using the thunderstorm as camouflage, quite possibly a way to recharge. One of the two. But these folks from Missouri were filming the storm, like a lot of people do, like to film lightning and stuff like that. I get it. It's a fascinating part of nature. Well, during one of the flashes, this black triangle was revealed, and out of the front of the triangle comes lightning, and it comes out kind of like a jagged circle of some sort. So I'm like, okay, did that thing just get struck by lightning, or did it release a plasma discharge? One of the two things happened. But either way, you're going to see that in my next video. It is super, super cool. At first, when they sent me the video, it was in such a small format. When I mean, I'm talking literally that big. I looked at it and I'm like, what in the world is this? So I enhanced it. I dug deep into the tool bag and blew it up and changed the uh, resolution. I got it up to like 720 because it came in at like 480, I think. But nevertheless, I appreciate it. That's great. It was a great catch. And once I enhanced it, I'm like, oh, there you are. Yo, it's a storm much darker than this one here. It was at nighttime, and once that lightning illuminated it, you can't miss it. Unbelievable. And this thing, I'm convinced it was up there hiding, recharging. I think it was recharging because I think, based off of I've seen three, but one, it was very obvious. Even though I only saw it for a couple of seconds, once I was reflecting on it after I saw it, it took off. And the only reason I saw it is because it turned like that. And once it tilted, you could see the bottom. And the bottom they weren't lights. They were round, like ping pong balls cut in half, like translucent, very dim. They were very dim. But it took off like that. I mean, it took off, accelerated. Oh, thank you, Melody, for the super sticker. That's cool. It accelerated and made no sound. So once I was reflecting on what I saw, it was a black triangle. It was thick too. I'm like, how did that do that? You know? So I kind of was tossing around the idea, the theory that maybe it was using the energy of the earth for its own energy source. You know? I mean, it's like, maybe so. Because it made no sound, and it was an incredible piece of technology. I was sitting outside on the back porch at 5:15 in the morning, just looking at the stars, having a cup of coffee. That's all I was doing. I wasn't thinking of anything like that, especially that. And every time I've seen something like that, there's not one time that I was out looking for anything. I was just hanging out. And then here it came, and then turned and went south. It came from the southeast, and then stopped and turned and then took off. And I was just, Mary Wren. Thank you, Mary Wren. Mary Wren is a Star family member. So yeah, I know they're real. So when I saw it, I'm like, okay, there's another one. What exactly they do, where they come from, where they go, you know, that's a bit of a mystery. But they are real. They're being seen more and more every day. I probably get videos maybe 6 or 7 times a year of good, you know, visible examples of these black triangles. They're real, just know that. But what they do, I do know this. They they definitely don't use conventional jet fuel. No way. And I don't know why we're not using them for commercial travel. You know what I mean? These things can carry, probably, based off the one I saw, 1,000 people at one time, and probably move them across the country or 1,000 miles in a couple hours, if that. So I don't know, but they are real. You're going to see an incredible example of one in my next video. Super cool. You don't want to miss it. Yeah. I've seen 3. I was watching a lunar eclipse one time, and this was back in 2017 or 2018. And as the lunar eclipse was, it was just a partial eclipse as well. We were just watching it, and it wasn't quite dark yet. It was almost dark, and we're looking up at it, and all of a sudden, this black triangle was revealed, and it was way up in the sky at maybe 50,000 feet, and it was just sitting there like this, just sitting there. From our vantage point, it didn't look real big because it was so high up in the sky. But you could clearly see it because there were no clouds in the sky. And my son-in-law that was standing next to me, he looked up at me, he goes, he went, did? And like, yeah, I saw it, that black triangle. He goes, yes, he was speechless. He saw it too. So we both saw it at the same time. And what was weird, it wasn't moving, it was just sitting there like it was observing the eclipse. You can't make this stuff up. You seriously can't make it up. That's a true story. It happened. And I actually had a witness that time. The other 2 times that I saw them, I was by myself. It was very early in the morning. It was during the fall months here in the Northern Hemisphere, October, 5:15-ish, 5:25 in the morning, 5:15 on the first one, 5:25 on the second one. And I've not seen anything like it since. Of course, I'm not outside looking for them, and I wasn't then. They just showed up. And 9 out of 10 times when people submit reports of things that they've seen, they have smartphones where you can record things now on the fly. So you get a lot more videos of mysterious things in the sky. But I didn't have time to record it, because it was just maybe the whole experience lasted maybe just over 2 seconds. And it was here and then took off. No sound. And it was the exact same color of black as the nighttime sky. That's how these things are engineered. They just took the black sky color and matched it up perfectly. And it is a perfect match until it tilts. And when it tilts, you're able to see it if you're looking if you just happen to be looking in the right direction. If you weren't looking in that specific direction, you wouldn't see it. They're too fast. Unbelievable. And I don't know that thing was manned because of how fast it took off. I mean, it took off and disappeared like that. So the G-force would have been so powerful. I don't know that a human could have withstood the amount of G-force that thing had when it accelerated. It was unbelievable. It wasn't a drone. This thing was massive. I always compared it to a flying Costco. You guys are all familiar with the merchandise store Costco. It's a big store. That's what it reminded me of. It was tall. It's like 15 to 20 feet thick. And just no problem. Moved effortlessly, like it was getting energy from the earth. So energy was no problem, moving was no problem, not making any sound was no problem, and it could sit in the sky. No problem. It could do whatever it wanted. Pretty cool. I got to admit, it was pretty cool. Why we're not using this stuff in the public domain, I don't know. But it was really cool. Blue beam testing. Hello from Greece. What's up, Stylanos? Thank you for stopping by. We're just talking about time moving by faster. At least it seems like it's moving by faster. A gentleman shared an email with me and asked me to ask you guys if you had noticed your clocks maybe being off by 8 minutes. He was very specific. Exactly 8 minutes. He had 4 clocks at his house that were off by 8 minutes for no reason. It just happened. And then over at his girlfriend's house, the same exact thing happened on the same exact day. The clock went, let's see, they were off by exactly 8 minutes. The time went backwards. He was very mystified by it, and again, we can only speculate and theorize what exactly is going on. I know there's a huge conspiracy going on about time travel. And by the way, just so you guys know, many years ago, I used to have a mentor. His name was John. He's no longer with us. He's from Minnesota. Very, very wise man. He told me that the time travel has been a thing that's been experimented with for 75 years. It's not anything new. He said we already have bases on Mars. And when I used to talk with him, the man was in his early 90s and he was sharp as a tack. He would go to work every day. He owned a business He would drive back and forth to work every day. He was an amazing, amazing man. And we would talk for like, and he, used to be one of my associates. We would talk once a month for like an hour and a half, and I would let him do most of the talking because I was just absorbing the knowledge that man was sharing with me. And man, he downloaded a bunch. A smart guy. Oh my God, he's so smart. But yeah, he told me he was in the military in 1952, and most of us weren't even born. He was in the military, and he heard people talking about the Philadelphia experiment, and how the Philadelphia experiment was a real thing. It actually did happen, and they did move a ship from, I believe, Philadelphia to Norfolk, Virginia. He said it did happen. It didn't work out quite perfectly, but it worked. So truth, guys, truth is stranger than fiction. Um, Believe it. It really and truly is. No pun intended. Let me look at some of the comments here. Thank you guys for the super chats. That's super cool. Yeah, they did stick to the walls, and that's what he said. Stellanos, right. That's what the man told me. A couple of them were fused to the ship. Yes, that's correct. It happened, but it didn't work perfectly. You're right. True story. True story. Groundhog Day. There you go. My wife said that the other day. It's like we're in this repetitive loop, and it's just over and over and over again. And granted, most of us are creatures of habit. We do the same thing typically every day, right? You get up, you have your coffee, your smoothie, whatever it is you prefer. You maybe go to your favorite websites or your shows that you watch in the morning, and then you have breakfast and you get your day started. I mean, we're creatures of habit. That's just what we are. That's how we're wired. But it just seems like here recently, within the last few months, that our daily routine goes by faster. And we're doing the same things that we've done, most of our adult lives. We have responsibilities and things that we have to take care of every day. It's just part of life. But it's like some days we're just running in mud to get just our basic responsibilities done. And it's like before you know it, the day's almost over. And it's like, what happened to the day? I didn't even get half the stuff done normally today that I can normally do easily in half a day. There are days like that. So I don't know that it's necessarily a perception of time, because in the physical world, trying to get things, a simple task completed, it just seems like it's an all-day job, but yet time is moving by faster. I don't know. I've heard other comments recently about how quickly it goes by. I know, and I've had people mention too, and I don't know if this is related, about ringing in the ears. There's a lot of people that are experiencing that, and the way I kind of interpret that is the sound of silence has changed, and the ringing of the ears doesn't necessarily have anything to. Right there, someone just said, you are. Yes, ringing. Well, you know what that is? This is just my humble opinion. It doesn't have anything to do with your ears. And you say, man, you crazy. It's my ears ringing. I know, I get it. But it's your neurological system that is detecting something, a frequency that's causing your ears to sound like they're ringing. You're not hearing necessarily anything. It's the sound of silence that's changed, because our silence isn't the same as it was, let's say, even 40 years ago. 40 years ago, there weren't cell towers all over the place. 40 years ago, there weren't a lot of satellite dishes on everybody's home. 40 years ago, there weren't thousands and thousands of satellites orbiting the Earth. 40 years ago, there weren't 5G towers for cell phones. So all of those frequencies flying around, there's frequencies in here flying around, coming from this TV. My router's right over there on the other side of the room. It's sending out a signal. The phone that's right here, it's sending and receiving signals. So does that interfere with the sound of silence? Maybe our neurological system? Because keep in mind, me, you, all of us in here, we're all biological antennas. So we're probably picking up these frequencies, just like the flashing lights, they're picking up a frequency. Their sound of silence, if you will, has also changed. So it doesn't surprise me, because when I hear people talking about, yes, my ear is ringing, my ear is ringing, it's your neurological system. You're detecting all this rogue energy. Could be the core of the earth. And we're leaning towards, my associates, we're looking at possibly a fluctuation, a change, not a drastic change, doesn't have to be, with the core of the earth. The core of the earth could be creating rogue EMP type energy. My friend Graham here, that's doing a study on the temperature of the core of the earth. If the core temperature were to change by even a half of a degree, well, it would create a lot of unusual things on the surface of the earth with regard to weather and rogue EMPs possibly. Just a whole variety of different things. And it's all based on the temperature of the core. Erupting volcanoes create lightning. Yes, they can. Who said that there? RIP focus. Yeah, volcanoes erupting can produce lightning from time to time. 100%. Absolutely. Thank you, moderator. Doing a great. There's Drew S. All right. What's up, Drew? Thanks for stopping by. Alexis, star family member. Everybody that's got their name with a star by it is a star family member. Olga, anti-gravity, they created that a long time ago, and it makes you wonder, where did they get the knowledge to create anti-gravity? Where did that come from? Was it reverse engineered from something they found? They say that. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate that, man. Shiner, what's up, Shiner? How you doing? Shiner is a very talented artist. Made me an avatar. I don't have it up. Let me see. Maybe do I have it over here? Let me look, Shiner. Shiner sent me an avatar. Hold on just a second. Okay, yeah, Shiner sent me an avatar. She's a very talented artist, and you'll see the avatar sometimes in my intros or outros. Thank you, Shiner. Really appreciate that. All right, guys. Well, listen, I was just curious to see if, there you go, Graham, our solar system could be squashed or squeezed by the galactic plane. Very true, because we kind of ebb and flow through the galaxy, and at times when we ebb and flow up and down above the ecliptic plane, there are changes that occur. Absolutely, that's very true, Graham. But I wanted to touch base. I promised Mark I would ask you guys, and I thought this was the easiest way. I just go on live on my phone here. I normally do it on my laptop, and I can share pictures and things like that. But I'm actually working over here on this laptop right now. I've got something from David. I got something, Melissa, Melanie, Melody. I've got a whole folder. Dara, Stephanie, Robert, Catherine, Laura, Gary. I've got all kinds of stuff I'm working on. People have sent in. So I kind of wanted to keep this open so I could work, get some feedback from you guys, thoughts on CERN. Cooper, or Caden Cooper, CERN's been around for a long time. A lot of people don't realize the Large Hadron Colliders are not necessarily anything new. There's a lot of hype about the one since the conception of the internet over in Switzerland, but they're not new. There's been one up in Chicago that's inactive, that's been up there for decades. So they get hyped up because of the internet and the one that we know of over in, like I said, Switzerland, but they're not anything new. There's several around the world, several, but the vast majority of them are inactive. They built this great big one that they're using now. So yeah, that's well, listen, guys, thanks for your input. I appreciate it. I will share it with Mark. Maybe Mark's in here. He was just curious if anybody noticed a loss of 8 minutes exactly. I don't know. I've never experienced that myself. But he experienced it, his girlfriend experienced it, and never seen anything like it. Speaking of like, make sure you like the video, guys, and make sure that you're subscribed. By all means, make sure you're subscribed. Have a friend over in Northern California that's been subscribed to the channel for many years. She said she was unsubscribed a couple of days ago. So if you were subscribed and you think you are, you may double check, because I don't know, for whatever reason, sometimes, things happen. Maybe it just became unsubscribed. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button. I'm going to hop off here. I've got work to do. You guys are in for a treat in my next video. So let me get back to work. Right. Tamala, good. Native Nomad TV. Thanks. You're welcome, Miss C. Listen, guys, I got to hop off here. Thanks for watching. Have a super day. Be safe out there.